Spacey, Sims, and we are back with more London Detective Mysteria. And I was like, been like a month since I played this game. That was for anyone, the last part, because I literally said that that's exactly what I was going to say when I came back. Like that. I think I did it a little wrong. But, and that's literally what I was thinking as I was loading this game. Like, Jesus, how long? It's been so long since I freaking played this. I don't even remember. What route are we fucking on? I'm like, I don't even know. I'm like, shit. So I'm like, let me find the last part and just make sure we were done with Watson. And then I wasn't like, we'll do the ill-fated ending. And thank God. So I watched the little end when I was like, I'm literally going to come back and be like, it's been like a month since I played this. And I was like, that's exactly, see, I know me, because that's exactly what I was saying as I was loading this. Not like a Muppet, but, yeah, so. I think there's an easy way to do this, but I don't remember. Am I right? Okay, so anyway, we are, how do we do this? Ah, there we go. We are starting Akechi's route, so we are going to, this is what we're doing. I'm trying to remember the controls right now. I think these are all the same. I don't think you ever choose the wrong answers. It's this part. Oh no, not this one. One. All these I think are the fine because they're standard answers. But this is where it matters, you know. So depending, these might give you points for a certain people, or give it to the child is, oh, you're kind, and so we give it to the police is the thing. I don't know what to do. You know what I mean? Like those choices probably lean one way or the other, or towards certain people. So, obviously we've already read some of this. So, I'd flee the country with him. Oh, so that's interesting. So both of these, I'm pretty sure, are the exact answers that we've done. With Akechi and with Watson. Oh dear, don't start this. Okay. Watson. Oh, whoops. I'm not going to bother on this first one, but when we start getting later, I'm going to start saving, like quick save before we get to the chapter buffers, because this is where it'll start to crash. Always on the same one, I feel like. You ought to consider everyone's feelings. We got points. I keep hitting the wrong button. I'm sorry. I'm new to this game. I'm new at playing this game again. Oh, but what about you? We're getting romance. Oh, we're getting romance points with everyone until we meet, because we haven't met Akechi yet. So, good point, me. Good point. So we're getting points with Watson, and then we're getting points with Lupin, and then we're getting points with Holmes. And I believe, okay, we write in our diary, which I believe we did the first time already. I mean, we're going to get all the diary things and all the whatevers each time anyway. Well, not each time, but you know what I mean, like by the end of the game. Perhaps I should write in my diary. We didn't do this last time. Interesting. Every day I attempted to add something new. I flipped to a fresh blank page. Recently I made a new friend, an absolute darling by the name of Sarah Marple. If you wouldn't mind, would you like to lunch together? Here you are, a tomato and cheese sandwich. The scones she bakes have such a mouth-watering flavor to them. As Sarah says, what comes to mind so directly that many find her so callous. But she has a keen sense for how others feel, and is equally true to herself. I'm a bit unrefined and insensitive, you know, but Sarah's always taken the time to look after me. I know you and Sarah will become fast friends. I've not seen her smile the way she has when the two of you had tea together in forever. She plays at being distant, but she's so very kind, and she cares deeply for her friends. There, I thought as I finished, and that should be enough. Okay. God damn it, I hit the wrong button. The very peculiar boy. I ain't got no
cares for you. You don't want to write your letters.
You haven't taken any notes. Oh! She's got love points with Jack. Have you not taken any notes, Jack?
What's it matter to you?
Well, we're both looking at the same pot, so you had me curious. Did you forget your notebook? I'd be happy to lend you my...
I've got mine. I don't need no help. I'll write me notes down as I please later.
Oh, that's good.
You might perhaps consider what to do yourself before fretting over me.
Oh, why?
Your book says British history, not pharmacology.
It does? I think I touted myself as the diligent one. Oh, I'm sure even my ears turned red then. I never once noticed the book's title till Jack pointed it out.
You blind.
I was so preoccupied with the plant that Oh, God. I downcast my eyes to shut away everything around me. Oh. I was thinking of something. I was like wondering, but well, it sucks about that because I'm dripping with curiosity. He's like, yeah. We're getting love points with everyone. We have to, because then when Akechi comes in, we don't want to have a leaning one way or the other. I want to get to know you better. I don't know if we've said this to him before. Yes, we have. It's balancing. That's cool. Right in my diary. We've already done this. I think it's later when we do. It's in the same spot. I think it's the same spot that are like, he's only committing crimes to fight crimes. It's like, you got love points with Lupin, the mysterious man. We know who he is, though. Also, I was like, I forgot all the voices I did, but Marple came back to me pretty quick. And like, Jack's not that hard because he's got an accent, and it's kind of easy when they type the accent in. It's kind of easy to read it, but... Keep my eyes closed. Get some more points with Lupin. Oh! Interesting. Okay, hold on. There's a point where we can save in here for the Kobayashi route, so I'll have to remember to do that. So we'll have to save that way. Yes. Skip to the next chapter. Or skip the intro. The falsehood of Sherlock Holmes. Holmes Jr. No. The kitchen. I mean, technically we could skip all of this, but, you know, every once in a while we read something, and I feel like that would kind of suck that we cut it all out for you guys. Like, oh, you don't get to see any of this. Plus, I mean... All right, so we're going to make a save, but I got to figure out where I'm going to put this. Okay. Okay. Oh, crap. Because we have to do a common save. He's amazing. I'm kind of concerned now because we have to save for Kobayashi. Save when you see, now what should I do? How do we do the skip? Okay, let's just do this. And then we'll stop because that'll be when she goes home because the next thing is right in my diary. So when she goes home, I'm just going to skip it like this because I want to be able to save it in the right spot for Akechi. So Kobayashi, so we don't have to go through this whole thing when we split off the Kobayashi route. So it's nice it's telling us. Because Kobayashi's not like a romancy chapter, but we have like Kobayashi and we have Marple, so. Oh, crap. Crap, crap, crap. Ah, shit, we're supposed to... Okay, hold on. Crap. Is there a way to... Fuck. Can I rewind back? We can't go back. Fuck, how do we... Shit. I don't like that I can't skip back. You know what I mean? Because then I have to return to previous decision. No, I wanna... The one before this. God damn it. Sorry. Okay, hold on. All right, we'll do better at this. As soon as we see Pendleton, we'll just manually skip through. Okay, hold on. All right, it's okay. It's all right. I just because if we don't do write in our diary, we might not have to write in our diary, but we might. I'm gonna guess we probably still write in our diary, but I don't know. So I don't want to take the chance and then we screwed up. Although we could always do back to previous decision. I don't know if you can do that in a save. We can do it now, but I don't know if I save after a decision. If we can go. Quote, quote, quote. No, no, no. Okay, no, no. Okay. Well, you can't save when you see now. Pendleton. Okay, hold on. Okay, hold on. Okay, I'm going to wait. Okay, so now this is where we save. No, that's not what I wanted. No, where's my button? There it is. Guys, save. I want to save for this, but I don't know where to save it. Maybe I'll just save it down here. Hopefully I remember it's down here. Okay. So, okay. Now we write in our diary. Perhaps I should write in my diary. I guess we haven't done this before. What shall I write about? Oh. Interesting. I bet we still write in our diary and we choose Kobayashi and the Kobayashi thing. Okay. I think I'll write about Akechi today. Nice, girl. Akechi was one of 2 new exchange students who came all the way from the Far East in order to study. He should have a Japanese accent, but that would sound racist if I did, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do it. It's gonna sound terrible. Oh, is she? She seems to have been watching us. He's quite a serious person with a strong sense of responsibility. He even put his name forwards to be class representative on his first day of school. The room was speechless when he did it, but I have a feeling he's perfect for the position. He certainly has a talent for disciplining others when they need it. Not gonna say anything. I'm only gonna say that I'm not gonna say anything so you know what I'm thinking, but you were thinking it too, so it's okay. My most sincere apologies. What I did was beyond depraved. I still have much to learn. Please excuse me. He was to become the center of a particularly unfortunate incident later, but I hope we'll become fast friends. I mean, you already got to first base, so I'm just saying. Wait, is that like, what base is that? I don't know. See, I'm dumb. Anyway. Now we can, yes. Do, 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 do. I wouldn't want to drink tea made like that. What if the corpse had something contagious? Forgive me, it was never my intention to frighten you, young lady. What are you doing? I'm pretending to be an English gentleman. Wait, who might you be? The only thing I wish that we could do was like skip some of this stuff that we've already technically done, and we've already gone through all this, and we're always gonna do the same damn thing. So it's kind of like, but La la la, this is what we do. We should pay Mr. Curtis a visit. Yes, we do. And then we're going to talk to Mr. Curtis. And now we're going to go to Miss Blah. Miss Blah. And then Miss Atlee. At. Who was it? I believe it was someone else. Mr. Howard. Boop. Right in my diary. I don't know if we've done this before. Perhaps I should write in my diary. We haven't. Choosing what to write about today was easy, at least. I had to write about my new assistant, Hudson.
It's a good thing you don't have to search then. From now on, I'm your assistant.
She works so very hard. How can anyone say otherwise when she looks after a block of flats at her age? She's quickly become like family to me, and given how level-headed she is, I have plenty I could stand to learn from her. With her as my assistant, I shall need to step up my efforts to become a fine detective. Oh! Damn, and this is where we do a common save tube for Lupin, Jack, Marple, Akechi routes. Whoa. Why not? I'll call out to them. Okay, hold on. Oh, wait, Akechi! Kobayashi! If we are able to decode all the messages, then I'll leave something here for you. Come back, all right?
That might not be such a good idea, Spacey. Depending on how serious this turns out to be, we can't afford to leave messages strewn about in the open, and there's no telling who might see them.
You raise a fine point. If you have anything that you need to tell us, I'll leave a message inside this puzzle box. As he said that, Akechi produced a tiny box that was small enough to fit in the palm of his hand. My, what a pretty little thing! And this is a small wooden box used to guard secrets that's widely loved in our country, and they're known by a variety of names. Himitsubako, Saikubako, Karakuribako? Jesus Christ. That's a lot of letters! Anyway.
Wow, you brought that with you all the way here.
Of course, no matter where we are, we should never forget the spirit of our nation. He's adorable. Opening this box involves following a series of very specific steps. Without knowing them, it becomes considerably difficult to open. I intend to trust in your capabilities and teach you how to open it, Miss Whitley. Do you think yourself up to the task? Very much so. Please do. Then I shall begin. I'll only say this once, so listen closely. Akechi said about showing me how to open the box. First, you move the left panel downwards. Am I going to have to remember this? Oh, you know what? That's nice. It's got the steps. It's got the steps on how to do it, and I'm like, am I going to have to remember this? No, because I got a guide. And next, you move the upper panel to the left. And then you move the right panel down. Up, left, down. Okay, and that's it. Yeah, okay, cool. And finally, you move the upper panel to the right. Should you follow my instructions to the letter, the box will open. Have you committed them to memory? I certainly have not, but it's okay. I got a guide. So yes.
It won't open if you miss even a single step. And you can't force it to open either. It'll break in that case.
It's as he says, so please, treat it with the utmost care and respect. This is truly a marvel. We have keys and ciphers and such to keep things secret. I had no idea Japan used simple yet elegant devices like this. It's a relatively simple one in comparison to others. Whilst this one only requires 4 steps to open, there are some boxes so complex that they require as many as 72. That many? Such is the skill of Japan's finest and most capable artisans. Incidentally, the word used in Japan to refer to such an artisan is takumi. They look so simple, even when they're filled with years of experience and technology from Japan's finest craftsmen. I promise I'll take good care of it. Yeah, we will. I accepted the box from Akechi. Only if you promise to take good care of yourselves, naturally. And meanwhile, we'll do the best we can to decode these messages. Okay. Whoopsie. Yes. It's interesting though that we have. So I'm just gonna kind of skip through this. Until because we're supposed to. So we got to do a common save. We're supposed to. I think it's funny that there's a common save for Lupin, Jack, Marple, and Akechi routes. Interesting. So this is nice. We don't have to go through all of this to get Lupin or Jack now. We don't have to. Save when you see like Marple, Jack. When you see like Marple, Jack chose a cryptic end to come. Okay. So sorry, I'm kind of scanning, reading as we're going through. So I'm reading just okay. Okay, so this is where we're going to save again. We're gonna save here then, so we have like these common ones way back here. Okay, now we should be on our next. We are supposed to let the timer run out because I'm assuming Holmes was Jack would be Jack and Lupin would be Lupin's path, but we don't wanna. Which I think we already did too, right? Didn't we already let the timer run out? Okay. It's my, isn't it? Okay. Yes. So now we're gonna, okay, so this is, all right. Oh, wait, whoops. So even if it's the only way we're going to learn what happened to him, if it's a trap or we say, here we go. Oh, right. I need to leave a message for Akechi. I don't like that this doesn't show that text. It just shows a blank thing so that there's like a weird glitch that when it stops, we kind of miss stuff. I don't know. It's weird. It's the weird things when you skip to the next decision. So I don't know. Well, and I keep forgetting about it, but.
Is that smart? Mr. Mackenzie left his message in code because he didn't want it to be easily read. So it would defeat the purpose if we left the answer out for anyone to see.
So he did. I know. This is the perfect time to make use of the puzzle box. Oh my god, I feel like she's a fucking idiot right now. We were going to leave it out, and he's like, don't, put it in the box. Okay. And it's like, it's been an hour, and then we're like, oh, we should put it in the box. That's the whole point of why he gave you the box, was for this very, like, what the, are you, but it's not like he gave it to you 3 days ago, and you're like, hey, now's the perfect time to use it. It's like he literally gave it to you for this purpose.
All right, we've deciphered the messages and enclosed within our findings. We're to make our way to the address mentioned. This should do the trick, and now I just need to place it inside the box.
I need to open the box. What was the first step? Left panel down. The left panel goes downwards. Right, that worked. The second step is upper panel to the left. The upper panel goes to the left. So far, so good. The third step is move the right panel down. The right panel goes downwards. All right, one more step. The final step is the upper panel to the right. The upper panel goes to the right. I did it! It opened! Now to put the note inside. Perfect! I repeated the steps in reverse order and successfully closed the box. And I then placed it inside Akechi's desk. Akechi, Kobayashi, as soon as you find this, I hope you'll come right to us. Quick save. Because this is usually about the point. Actually, no, it's a gathering in shambles that it crashes, so we're gonna have to start. All right. Oh, wait, hold on. He was so deeply, genuinely moved that the entire class lost its will to complain any further. Like, oh, okay. I was just making sure. Okay, so, oh, frickin' crap. Sorry. I nearly forgot. Did Akechi read the message I left for him?
Perhaps I'll pop back into the classroom and see. I set off for the academy. I saw no sign of Akechi or Kobayashi once I returned, but there was one thing that had changed. What's this? I could have sworn I placed this puzzle box in Akechi's desk. At odds with my memory, however, I found it in my own. I opened up the box the same way as I had earlier, thinking its appearance somewhat peculiar. There's a letter here. This must be from Akechi. His handwriting is immaculate.
And it's not my handwriting, so.
To Miss Whitley, I received your message, and that you remembered my instructions on how to open the box is a dear sentiment to me. As it is possible we may miss one another, I leave this notice and declaration of thanks in my stead.
He's so precious.
Oh, he's so diligent, isn't he? And there's more. I'd like you to have this puzzle box for your own use. And may it serve you well and protect your most treasured secrets.
Yeah, but now you know how to open it. She's gonna write, I love Akechi. He's so handsome. And then he's gonna be like, ha ha ha, open the puzzle box. Akechi, I know you're reading this. Don't be a dick. Damn.
Akechi. I wordlessly placed Akechi's letter in my pocket and closed the box a second time. It dawned on me that tomorrow would be another day in which we and Mr. Mackenzie would learn and work as a team of detectives. This mystery had been solved, but there would be more to come to test our bonds. I could still feel the essence of Akechi's touch on the small wooden box. That he, too, once held this precious thing warmed me to my soul.
Oh, talk about love. Pick, do it again. Wait. No, wait, hold on. We were supposed to pick skip it. This is what I hate. It's like, if this is your first time in this chapter, ignore this point. Pick do it again. But the thing, it always drives me up because if it should say, the point, it should say skip it. But it doesn't. The bullet literally says, if this is your first time, in bold, all caps, if this is your first time in this chapter, ignore this point, pick do it again. But there is no point there. The bullet point should say skip it, and then it should say, if this is your first, and I do this every time. So, and then I was like, wait, we don't want to do this. Anyway. But the only problem is, simply tell him why I'm here. Silently take his hand. Okay. Without a word, I took his hand in mine. Whose hand? Who are we talking about? I admit to being nervous that he might reject me and shake it off. But to my relief, nothing of the sort happened. Oh, it's Jack's hand. Okay. He simply glanced at me for a moment before returning his gaze downwards. He, too, had not said a word in response. Jack? What? How would you like to come have lunch with us? Why? Why? It's more fun eating in a group than on your own. Wouldn't you agree? How would I know? His tone was aggravated, but only to the degree at which it was so often and nothing more. To which it so often was, and nothing more. You want company? Perhaps try asking the others. Already done. They said they would love to come. All that's left is for you to say the very same thing. You got too much free time on your ends, you know. Jack's eyebrows pinched with a certain sort of disbelief, and yet even then he had taken no effort to pull away from my hand. That's so cute. We're holding hands with a murderer. Anyway. I didn't bring no lunch. You don't have to pay me any mind. Well, I have a simple enough solution for that. I've got no need to get on with everyone in the world like you. Rejection. I felt a sudden heavy rock plop down at the pit of my stomach. And there ain't a person here that's got the mad sense to get on with me. Really now? Oh, but I'm absolutely certain there's one at least. She's right in front of you. Huh? Listen, you. I want to be your friend. His eyes then grew wider than I had ever seen them. Okay. Oh, wait. Hold on. Oh, none whatsoever. Well, come. Okay, anyway. As I promised you needed forever food, I brought enough for everyone. I don't know why it skipped to... Wait, don't pull. But anyway. It's no bother. None whatsoever. Well, come. Wait, don't pull. I took his hand with a stronger grip and leaned back to force him to stand.
Then, his hand in mine, we hurried to where the rest of our friends were waiting. I don't know why it stopped, because that one word, like that one line that we couldn't read. Anyway, right, let's go do this. I hate this. Anyway, so we're doing the packing. I hope I can pack everything away quickly enough. I reached out to the baskets before me to set about packing everything away. Akechi, what brings you over here? You, as it so happens. Since I was fortunate enough to partake in some of your food, I thought it only right to assist in clearing up. That and leaving you on your own concerns me. Why, thank you. Not at all. I simply wish to repay you for the meal. We began packing everything away. Incidentally, Miss Whitley, do you cook often? No, I don't. Our mansion chef does the cooking. I see. In that case, I assume you made today's Scotch eggs. My, you're right. But how could you tell? Because they were fucking trash. Yeah, I'm just kidding. Compared to the other foods, their sizes and shapes were somewhat, I suppose, varied. I also caught you peeking at others who were eating them as though to observe how they liked them. Of course you caught me. I did, but after knowing you for some time, it isn't particularly difficult to notice such things. Well, it's not often we're able to enjoy a picnic together as friends. It was even a first for you and Kobayashi, wasn't it? I wanted it to be a fun experience for everyone. I couldn't stop planning left and right for it. And then I should say you've done a fine job of it, and they were delicious, I might add. Were they? Oh, what do I have to gain by lying? I hadn't expected to try your cooking when we lunched, so it was a pleasant surprise. Thank you. You're very welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed them. She's kind of a fun character because she's very bubbly and it's kind of a little bit fun. Oh my god! I mean, okay. Like, it's kind of fun sometimes to not be like, I mean, she's derpy, but she's like a bubbly kind of derp, and I kind of like, everyone else is like, oh. Like, some of the characters, oh, I'm just dumb and I felt, but like, I feel like when she falls off a cliff, it's gonna be like, I fell off a cliff! And you're like, well, you're dumb, but it's kind of, at least you're bubbly and cute about it. Like, you know what I mean? Anyway. Akechi averted his eyes from me, a small pinch of warmth across his cheeks, before resuming his end of the cleaning. And this fog has become rather severe. It certainly has. We should hurry to the carriage before it gets any worse. I rushed to gather everything up, but as I started to walk, I realized Akechi was no longer anywhere to be seen. Akechi? I spun my head around in hopes of spotting him, but I had no such luck with how limited my vision was. I wasn't fond of being alone like this. I could feel an inexpressible sense of nervousness welling up within myself. Akechi, where are you? Miss Whitley. I heard his voice from far away. I rushed in the direction of the voice, as if to shake off the unease that fought to take hold of me. Soon after, I caught sight of a faint, human-shaped silhouette in the fog. Is that you, Akechi? Wait for me! But he showed no signs of responding. Perhaps he couldn't hear me? I stepped closer, and yet with every step I made, the silhouette seemed to slip farther. I guess this is the point you kind of know whose path you're on, is the boop. You know what I mean? Like you know you're here because... What are you doing, bird? Being weird. Anyway, because it's always different when we were with Holmes. Holmes was this part. When it was Watson, it was Watts. You know what I mean? So it's kind of nice. My apprehension grew stronger, but standing in place would do nothing. I decided to continue following it. Okay. The back alley. Oh, whoops. I almost clipped the slope. Oh, okay, hold on. Very close by, I could hear two men having a discussion. Anyway, I tried to get a good look, but what was going on from the shadows of the alley? It wasn't the clearest picture, but I could make out two men. Here's what you were promised. What are they talking about? I was hiding enough of a Okay, hold on. I'm just gonna... Okay, anyway. Huh! You think this is funny? The man's patience had been worn to a thread. No, don't! Oh. Mr. Porlock! What now? Did something happen? Okay, I'm just gonna tell you something that, I'm pretty sure in the intro, when you watch the intro in the beginning, Porlock And I'm pretty sure it's Moriarty. Have the same voice actor, so I'm pretty sure they're the same fucking character. Spoiler alert! Sorry, should have tagged that, but I'm just saying that's my guess because they have the same voice actor. I don't know why they do that. They don't put Sherlock Holmes in the beginning thing, so you don't even know he's in the game. So when he showed up, it was like, oh, Mycroft shows up in the beginning, and they show, and because they do like the voice actors, they tell you. But it's weird that they would do that and show you Moriarty and Portlock when they have the same voice actor, and that is my number one, like, how to be like, hello, this is the same character. I mean, you know what I'm saying? It's like an identity, but anyway. Tension thick as the fog was stilted momentarily by the sound of someone calling out to a man whose clothing reminded me of a merchant's. Hold on. I hesitated. Okay, then the air had been punctured by the shriek of a bullet. It was so unexpected that my foot hit a wooden crate on the ground next to me. I wasn't in their sights, but the noise made was much too loud for it not to catch their attention. No, please don't notice me. Playing hard to get isn't going to do you any favors, you know. Each step moved closer and closer to me. The fog would make finding me a trying task, but that didn't make it impossible. I couldn't hide from him forever. They'll kill me. They're going to kill me. I took a rigid, deep breath to control my nerves. Shh. Quiet now. You're safe. I only ask that you keep still. My breath was held as someone approached me from behind and placed their hand over my mouth. Hello, we know who it is. Moments later, I heard what must have been a pebble rolling in a completely different direction. I surely hope you don't think I'll let you escape. He followed the sound of the pebble, his footsteps becoming quieter and quieter. Danger now less so. I began to think of how the gloves I felt and voice behind me were familiar. Try to keep your voice down, and they're likely still close by. I nodded to indicate that I understood. There's no point in, like, because you know what I mean? Like, we're going to end up getting to a point where, you know, it's exactly where, you know, we'll skip 2 lines if I don't read it, but if I do read it, we don't skip anything, but whatever. Pendleton, why are you here? Because Pendleton's a motherfucking amazing, he's just the amazing. Why are you here? I'm so glad you're here. I love you, Pendleton. And discussions can come later. For now, we leave with due haste. All right? I was more than willing to let Pendleton lead the way. Yeah. Even after plenty of time had passed, the fog stubbornly continued to hang over London's streets. A heavy air hanged above the two of us as well. Because we're going to he's angry with me, isn't he? I'm certain of it. We're going to get in the carriage, and then it's going to be... not a word had been said since we left the site of our meeting. It was only once we'd come to the main road that Pendleton finally spoke. This should be far enough. I braced myself for the incoming lecture, but no such lecture arrived. Instead, I heard the sound of someone I knew crying out from far away. Because this is where Watson showed up when Watson's back, so... Miss Whitley! That's not... Akechi! What a disaster. Whatever were you thinking? His breathing was erratic and his forehead covered in sweat. It took but a single glance to know that he had been desperately searching for me. Forgive me, Akechi. Please be more mindful of your own actions in the future. Please. I will. I truly am sorry for worrying you. Pardon. But this hardly seems the place for lengthy conversations. Let us retire to the carriage. We can discuss all that happened there. And should you like, Akechi, we can also escort you to the academy dormitory. Thank you very much. We all climbed into the carriage and set off straight away. Pendleton's sigh was the first thing to break yet another lengthy silence. My lady, I'm going to be very frank with you. For heaven's sake, do something about your unfortunate habit of sticking your nose into danger. If I may, sir, I believe I share some of the responsibility for her actions. Had I not lost her in the fog, she wouldn't have acted as she did. You're not to blame for a single thing, Akechi. This is my fault for running off. Miss Whitley, I don't overheard something I fear I must discuss, however. Something involving a man named Porlock. Porlock? My lady, where did you hear that? Pendleton's expression changed upon its mention. It was earlier, and there was a man with me in the fog by that name. Porlock is the name of a well-known cryptographer in the criminal underworld, but I cannot imagine he would be anywhere but a cell. But I heard his name. I can't be mistaken, can I? Is it not possible that he escaped? No. As far as I'm aware, he's still locked in the Tower of London. You're absolutely certain you didn't mishear, my lady. But... Could that have been a mere illusion in the fog? The more I tried to follow that line of thought, the more fear wrangled me. At a certain point, I could only shake my head to rid myself of anything more. A part of me knew that would do little to help. I could feel a mist begin to settle over my heart, one that seemed even less likely to clear than that of London's fog. Okay. So, I mean, I feel like maybe what we should be doing is like, okay, once we decide we're going to the back alley or the slope or whatever we do, that we should just read that part regardless. Because there might be certain, this I'm pretty sure is the, this is the Akechi chapter now. So I feel like that once we're like, after the part where we're sitting there cleaning up, we should just read that from now on going forward instead of skipping it all. Because it's pretty much, I follow the thing and then I choose the path and then it stops and like a couple of lines might be the same or a little bit of the end. But for the most part, I feel like we skip like one or two lines and then we read a line and then we skip a couple and then we read a line and then we skip. So it's like, it's not worth it to like just skip. You know what I mean? But anyway, so here we are in Akechi's chapter. Several days had passed since the picnic in Hyde Park. Who was it I saw in the fog that day? For all the fun I had, I cannot recall it now without that one detail. Oh, why am I spending my hard-earned day off dwelling on this? Best to put it out of my mind and turn my attention to merrier thoughts. Perhaps enjoying some tarts and tea was just what I needed. However, just as my plans were taking shape, they shifted to something else entirely. Pardon me, my lady, two of your friends have come calling. And they seem to have expended no small effort in arriving. It's Akechi and Kobayashi. She had the right of it. Oh, both Watson and Kobayashi were huffing and puffing as though they had no wind in them to spare for rest. Okay, well, I got half of them right. Good morning. It isn't often I see you two in each other's company. Is something the matter? Spacey, do something about Akechi! Spacey, you gotta stop Holmes. What? Spacey! They cried my name with such boyish panic that I listened eagerly for an explanation. Cinderella, night and day, it's Cinderella! The story was this. Holmes and Watson had been charged with investigating a series of abductions that had been staged throughout London. Akechi and Kobayashi, meanwhile, were on a leisurely tour of the city. It was simple chance that saw the four of them happen upon each other. Naturally, the abductions became a topic of conversation between detectives. Right, along with how the nobility are being ransomed for all they're worth. It's been difficult for the Yard to obtain any solid leads despite the abductions growing in frequency. The ringleader, whoever they are, has done a clever job of covering his tracks by hiring the poor to do his dirty work. I mean, if you're poor and someone's like, I'm going to give you a big sack of gold to kidnap someone, sweet. Nowadays, no, but I mean, like back then it was probably easier. You know, no traffic cams, no media, no social media, none of that. None of the interwebs, all that. At any rate, the topic moved to whether any nearby locations were suspect. Which then turned into which local shops had the best food. You know the place near to here that specializes in meat pies? That was mentioned, of course. So much flavor and practically a steal at 5 pence each. And daydreams of cheap, savory meat pies filled our heads. And next thing we see, Holmes is eager to make a row and Akechi has his blade drawn. The last thing we wanted is to turn a bad situation worse. They were so focused that they seemed to forget about us entirely. We didn't know what to do. Okay, so they were talking, and then you were talking about food, and somehow they got into a fight? That's when I remembered you lived right around the corner. I'm, not certain I understand why you would come to me. Hit us like a bolt of lightning, though. If there's anyone who could sort them out, it's you. But how? We think if it's no trouble, you'd be better than us at peacefully stopping them before they maim each other. Still not entirely grasping the strange affair, I told Alicia where I was going and set off. I followed the boys to the ever-bustling Kennington Road. It carried a vibrant energy that inspired smiles and exploration, but as we stepped off the main road and into an alleyway, it was as though the whole of the atmosphere turned. There's Holmes and Akechi. This does look terrible, and it's about to get worse. Akechi's sword howled downward but sliced little more than air, for Holmes sidestepped the blow and made ready to plunge his fist into the foreigner's belly. Reacting with practiced haste, Akechi brought the hilt of his blade up to block Holmes' strike, but no sooner had the blow been parried than Holmes grabbed the sword's guard, twisting it in such a way as to, by means of discomfort, force his opponent to disengage. Their battle played out before my eyes, each advancing then retreating with calculated intensity. They both looked so serious about this. How could this happen? Why would Holmes fight barehanded? Has he gone barmy? Holmes is no amateur with his hands, but I suppose it's a bit much against a sword. And this isn't the time to be impressed. We need to stop them. They both backed off a few paces. She'd have a better chance than this. Without much in the way of forethought, I shouted, "This is where we save." But I'm going to go back. These are my common saves, so I'm going to go back up here. That was our Watson saves. I'm going to go down here and save here for our Akechi saves. So this, I'm pretty sure, is our where we going to do... I don't really know. I'm assuming this is where we... Oh, yeah, this is where we would go down and get our bad ending. So, anyway. All right, so anyway. Wait! Akechi. Both of you! Wait, Akechi! Miss Whitley, what are you doing here? Got love points from him. Akechi had been fixed on Holmes in a steeled gaze till he heard my voice, which inspired nothing short of befuddlement written upon his face. Haven't you heard the two wrongs... haven't you heard the two wrongs don't make a right? I stepped between them. I don't know what happened, but fighting in an alley isn't what'll solve it. You're schoolmates. Settle your differences amicably. Fighting? This is a simple training bout. Pardon? What do you mean? Akechi mentioned his skill in Eastern fencing, so I wanted to see what all he's learned. I, too, was fascinated by Holmes's considerable expertise in Western martial arts, and as such had wondered if we might spar. And I must say, I'm genuinely impressed, Holmes. Your offensive stances proved quite difficult to read at times. Our match gave me much to consider. With a flick and a twist, Akechi returned his blade to its sheath. Likewise, your fluid motions kept me guessing as to what your next actions might be. You're a first-rate swordsman. Did you have an instructor? Indeed, my master is back in Japan. Was I imagining things, or was there some hesitation? And yourself, did your boxing come from your father? The fundamentals, yes. The rest I learned through expounding on the basics and experimentation. Oh, the fundaments, yes. Oh, anyway. One cannot surpass another by imitation alone. It fascinates me that your father serves as your peer in detective work and your instructor in the martial arts. And yet you drive to master and refine your skills beyond the tools provided. And you're a perfect model of the Western mind's dogged temperament. Dog? Woof! Akechi began to scribble his findings in his notebook. Kobayashi, standing beside him, appeared to be at a loss upon a word he didn't quite understand. Being dogged is something like being determined. That's in a good sense. It can also mean being so severely single-minded that it becomes a bad thing. Dogged. That's a new one. That said, Miss Whitley, I was no less taken aback by your recklessness. Neither of us were expecting you to step in the middle of our match. Yes, but I didn't want either of you to hurt one another. It was a simple sparring match. We would never do such a thing.
Be like, well, tell these idiots.
Learning to control one's own strength is an essential element of one's studies.
He speaks rightly. Your fears were misplaced, Miss Whitley.
You were being pretty dogged too, Spacey. You were so set on stopping the fight that you damned the consequences and stepped right in the middle. That's single-minded if I've ever heard it. This is your fault, you assholes.
Now you've got it. It's not out of the common for her to throw caution to the wind, but even I wouldn't dare to step between those two.
Neither of you are paying me a compliment, I hope you realize. Besides, this mess was due to your misunderstanding, not mine. Both grinned with wild innocence, unaware of the trouble they contributed to the scenario. If only I could share the feeling.
Well, we'd best be on our way. We have little time to spare for a case that needs lengthy investigation.
If you didn't have the time, then why spar at all? Spacey, you have to understand that some battles call out to a man's soul.
Oh, yes. It isn't right to interfere in a battle between two friendly chaps, you know?
Hang it all! You said the very opposite at the mansion!
Did we? Well, the meat pies they sell at that shop over there are always a treat. I'll give you one in return for sweeping this under the rug, alright?
What? Where's my free meat pie?
Kobayashi. We've already had some together.
Pooh. I was hoping it slipped your mind.
How could I forget when you ate beside me?
I accepted the meat pie, at least some small token to have lent purpose to this entire episode, and bid farewell to Holmes and Watson. When did he have time to buy this? It does look delicious, but my frustration is putting a damper on my appetite. It's best to accept gifts with grace and gratitude, Miss Whitley. Gifts of food contain the heart of not only the giver, but those whose hands prepared it also. Letting it go to waste would be courting divine retribution. Me? Arouse the wrath of God? I would never do such a thing.
And then you'll eat it? If you don't want it, then I do.
Only a shameful glutton would cozen food from another when he himself is well fed. What shall I do with this meat pie? Eat it myself. You're right, Akechi. I ought to be more appreciative. I took a bite of the still warm pie, and what a bite it was! Watson was right. This really is delicious.
Love points with Akechi. He's like, look at the look on his face. He's like, what?
Akechi, what is it? Nothing. I was merely observing your reaction.
She's pretty even when she stuffs her face, isn't she?
Of course not. Stop spouting nonsense, Kobayashi. Whilst they continued their dispute, I blissfully finished the remainder of my pie. Well, Kobayashi, let's be on our way. Of course, you were touring the city, weren't you? If you'd like, I can... It's kind of you to offer, Miss Whitley, but I can assure you we'll be fine on our own. Will you? But you didn't let me finish what I was going to say. I believe that rather than showing us around, you should consider how to broaden your own horizons. Sipping tea and sampling confections is an indolent waste of a perfectly useful day, is it not? What? How did you know? Given what I know of you, I considered how you would be most inclined to spend your time. It wasn't difficult. But be that as it may, taking tea and cake does not constitute indolence.
He hit the nail on the head.
If I may offer a suggestion, why not salve both heart and mind by spending the day with a good book? Hey, I can eat cake, drink tea, and read a book at the same time!
Because I can multitask, bitch, in your face.
There so happens to be a bookshop just down the road, in fact. Yes, and this may be precisely the thing for one prone to leaping before she looks. Akechi gestured in the direction of a shop a short walk away. I feel like he's being so rude, but I love him anyway. And this country's books contain myriad expressions and opinions, and many of them highly informative. To read the writing of another is to commune with them and attempt to understand them. It could rightly be considered a form of training in itself. I'm certain you'll come to understand the importance of doing so. Perhaps, but my offer still stands, Akechi.
Yeah, you shouldn't just sit on your ass and eat cake. I was offering to show you around, but you know what? I'm just gonna go back to my mansion and eat cake, bitch. Oh, and sit on my ass.
I'd be delighted to show you to all there is to see.
Oh, I'll show you all there is to see, Akechi. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
You're a genuine soul, to be sure. Your offer is appreciated, but we must decline. It's only by viewing with our own eyes, going where intuition leads us, that we shall be able to learn more. Very well then. It was a polite refusal, yes, but still a refusal. My reaction must have shown on me, for Kobayashi piped up to soften his partner's words.
He may not sound it, but he's tickled pink 'cause of you.
I am not. Akechi! The detective turned and left with a flush to his cheeks.
He loves us.
Wait for me, Akechi. A nerve. I got no clue what goes on in that head of his. Hope he hasn't been a bother, Spacey.
And he hasn't. Not at all. I fear more that he finds me too unreliable. He once scolded me for sleeping during lessons. What if, to his estimation, I was not one to be relied upon? What if, just what if, I anointed to very little in his eyes? Oh, amounted to very little. I can't read.
And doubtful. He does love to give a good tongue lashing, but it's more about him than the other person. It's in his nature to be stubborn, you see. He can't bring himself to admit that he doesn't want to impose on you.
Is that truly all?
You'll see it yourself with more time. He's an agreeable sort once you get to know him.
I was then left behind with a smile and a chipper goodbye. When alone, the botherings that struck me imposed twice as much than they did when I was with company. The fact still remains, I am unreliable to him. I should very much like for Akechi to accept me kindly. I know he's as agreeable as Kobayashi said. Akechi's diligence was something to be admired, but could also be seen as a curse. It was born out of an obsession with being perfect, which, no matter the strain it placed on his back, meant carrying the full weight of his burden. It was my hope that I could be someone worthy of sharing that weight. Hope is nothing without action. I must put in the work if I want him to come to rely on me. The first step would be to visit the bookshop Akechi recommended. We could keep going, but I'm going to stop here. I know it's a little under, but some of these parts might be like between 45 minutes and an hour. I might try to cut them a little bit shorter just to, there's a little bit of buffer because I'm really behind. But anyway, I don't want this to go too much over an hour, so I'm going to stop it here while we're you know. Oh, walking stick. I was like, wait, what? Anyway. But, so yeah. So we'll continue on the bookstore. And it might literally be like a line or two, but I feel like the bookstore might be a little bit longer. Only who knows, but anyway. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.